What if I told you that the way most people think about money is completely backwards? What if the path to wealth isn't about making more money, but about fundamentally changing your relationship with money itself? Today, we're exploring Your Money or Your Life by Vicki, a book that has revolutionized how hundreds of thousands of people think about money, work, and what it means to live a truly rich life. This isn't just another personal finance book. This is a complete philosophy that challenges everything you've been taught about success, consumption, and happiness. Here's the radical premise. You are trading your life energy, your time, your health, your relationships, your dreams for money. But are you getting a fair trade? Are you spending that money on things that truly bring you joy and fulfillment? Or are you trapped in what the authors call the money trap? Working jobs you don't love, to buy things you don't need, to impress people you don't even like. This book offers a way out, not through get-rich-quick schemes or complex investment strategies, but through a systematic program that helps you align your money with your values, reduce your expenses without feeling deprived, and achieve financial independence faster than you ever thought possible. The 9-step program we'll explore today has helped people retire decades early, not because they earned millions, but because they learned to live richly on less while building sustainable wealth. Some have achieved complete financial independence on modest incomes by applying these principles consistently. But this isn't just about early retirement or accumulating money. It's about reclaiming your life energy and directing it toward what truly matters to you. It's about breaking free from the consumer culture that keeps you stressed, overworked, and unfulfilled. Over the next 30 minutes, we'll journey through each of the 9 steps that can transform not just your finances, but your entire relationship with money and life itself. Get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about wealth, success, and happiness. Your life energy is precious. Let's make sure you're spending it wisely. Step 1. Make peace with the past. The journey to financial independence begins not with budgets or investments, but with understanding your past relationship with money. Most people carry decades of financial shame, regret, and confusion that sabotages their future success. Step 1 requires brutal honesty. Calculate your total lifetime earnings and determine your net worth. This isn't about judgment. It's about awareness. Where did all that money go? What do you have to show for years or decades of earning? Here's how to do it. Gather every tax return, pay stub, and financial record you can find. Add up every dollar you've earned since you started working. Don't estimate. Be precise. This number represents your total life energy converted to money. Now, calculate your net worth. Add up everything you own, assets, and subtract everything you owe, liabilities. The difference is your current net worth. For most people, this exercise is shocking. You might discover you've earned $500,000, $1 million, or even $2 million over your working life, but your net worth is only a small fraction of that amount. Where did the rest go? This isn't about self-flagellation. It's about recognition. Every dollar you earned represented hours of your life, time you'll never get back. Understanding this creates what the authors call natural frugality, not deprivation, but conscious spending aligned with your values. The exercise reveals several crucial insights. First, your earning power is probably higher than you realized. Second, most of your earnings disappeared into consumption rather than wealth building. Third, small changes in spending habits, compounded over time, could dramatically improve your financial position. This step also involves forgiveness, forgiving yourself for past financial mistakes, forgiving others who may have influenced your money beliefs, and releasing the shame and guilt that often surrounds money decisions. Many people discover they've been unconsciously following their parents' money scripts, working compulsively, spending impulsively, or avoiding money conversations entirely. Awareness allows you to choose different patterns going forward. The step also reveals the difference between your real hourly wage and what you think you earn. When you factor in commuting time, work-related expenses, decompression time, and taxes, your actual hourly wage might be half of what appears on your pay stub. This calculation is revolutionary because it changes how you evaluate purchases. That $200 gadget doesn't cost $200. It costs however many hours of your life energy you must trade to earn $200 after taxes and expenses. Suddenly, many purchases seem far less appealing. Here's the psychological shift. Instead of thinking, "Can I afford this?" you start thinking, "Is this worth X hours of my life energy?" This simple reframe eliminates most impulse purchases and frivolous spending automatically. The past calculation also reveals patterns. Maybe you earned more in some years but were less happy. Maybe you spent more during stressful periods. These insights help you understand the emotional drivers behind your financial decisions. Your action step. Complete this exercise fully, even if it's uncomfortable. Don't estimate or approximate. Use actual numbers. The precision is crucial for creating lasting change. Once you know where you've been, you can consciously choose where you're going. Remember, this isn't about punishment, it's about liberation. Understanding your past financial patterns gives you the power to consciously create different patterns going forward. Step 2. Being in the present, tracking your life. Energy step 2 is where transformation begins. You're going to start tracking every penny that comes in and goes out, but not in the way you might expect. This isn't traditional budgeting. It's consciousness raising about your life energy. First, calculate your real hourly wage. Take your total monthly income after taxes. Then add up all your work-related expenses, commuting costs, work clothes, meals out because you're too tired to cook, decompression entertainment, and the higher cost of convenience foods and services because work leaves you no time. Next, add the time these work-related activities consume. Commuting time, time spent shopping for work clothes, decompression time you need after stressful work days, and time spent on work you take home. Divide your real take-home pay by your real work hours. This is your actual hourly wage, and it's probably much lower than you thought. Many people discover they're earning half of what they believed. Now comes the tracking phase. Record every expense, no matter how small. But here's the twist. Convert every expense into hours of life energy by dividing the cost by your real hourly wage. That $5 coffee becomes 0.5 hours of life energy. That $50 dinner becomes 5 hours. That $500 weekend getaway becomes 50 hours. Suddenly, purchases take on new meaning when you see them as chunks of your irreplaceable life. This isn't about becoming a miser. It's about becoming conscious. Some expenses will feel completely worth the life energy. Others will seem ridiculous when viewed through this lens. The goal is awareness, not deprivation. Use categories that make sense to you. Housing, transportation, food, clothing, entertainment, health, etc. Don't use too many categories initially. Keep it simple, so you'll actually do it. The tracking reveals patterns you never noticed. Maybe you spend unconsciously when stressed. Maybe certain stores trigger overspending. Maybe you buy things you already own because you can't find them in your cluttered space. After a month of tracking, you'll start seeing your spending patterns clearly. More importantly, the act of tracking changes your behavior automatically. When you have to write down every purchase and convert it to life energy, you naturally become more selective. This step also reveals the hidden costs of complexity. Multiple subscriptions, memberships, and services that you barely use add up to significant life energy. Simplification becomes appealing not just for financial reasons, but for mental clarity. The tracking shows you exactly where your life energy is going. Some categories will surprise you, either higher or lower than expected. This data becomes the foundation for all future financial decisions. Many people resist this step because it seems tedious or obsessive. But the tracking is temporary, just long enough to create awareness and new habits. Once you understand your patterns, you can maintain consciousness with much less detailed tracking. The life energy calculation also makes the true cost of debt crystal clear. That credit card balance isn't just costing you interest. It's costing you future life energy. When you see debt payments as hours of your life you must work in the future, paying off debt becomes much more motivating. This step often triggers what the authors call natural frugality, not forced scrimping, but organic reduction in spending as you become conscious of the life energy cost of purchases. Your action step: start tracking immediately. Carry a small notebook or use a phone app. Record every expenditure and calculate the life energy cost. Do this for at least 1 month, preferably 3 months, to identify patterns. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. Even if you forget to track some expenses, you'll gain valuable insights into your spending patterns and the relationship between your life energy and your money. Step 3. Monthly tabulation. Step 3 transforms your daily tracking into powerful monthly insights that guide your financial decisions. This is where data becomes wisdom and awareness becomes action. At the end of each month, total up your expenses in each category and convert them to hours of life energy. Then plot these numbers on a simple chart that tracks your spending over time. This visual representation reveals patterns that raw numbers might hide. But here's the crucial addition that makes this system transformative. Rate each category for fulfillment and alignment with your values. Use a simple scale. +1, high fulfillment, deeply aligned with your values. 0, neutral, neither particularly fulfilling nor unfulfilling. -1, low fulfillment, misaligned with your values. This fulfillment rating is where the magic happens. You might discover that some of your highest expense categories bring you the least fulfillment, while some lower expense categories bring tremendous joy and meaning. For example, you might spend 40 hours of life energy monthly on your car payment, insurance, gas, and maintenance, but rate transportation as neutral 0 because it's just utility. Meanwhile, you spend 10 hours of life energy on books, courses, or experiences that you rate as highly fulfilling +1. This analysis reveals opportunities for optimization. Can you reduce expenses in low fulfillment categories and redirect that life energy toward high fulfillment areas? Can you find creative ways to meet your transportation needs that might actually increase fulfillment? The monthly tabulation also shows trends over time. Are your expenses increasing or decreasing? Are you shifting spending toward higher fulfillment categories? Are you becoming more conscious about your life energy allocation? Some people discover they're spending enormous amounts of life energy on things that bring no joy, status purchases, social obligations they don't enjoy, or convenience items that actually complicate their lives. Others realize they're underinvesting in categories that could dramatically improve their well-being. The fulfillment rating helps you distinguish between needs and wants, but from an internal rather than external perspective. Traditional budgeting tells you what you should spend on different categories. This system helps you discover what actually brings you fulfillment and meaning. The visual chart becomes a powerful motivator. Seeing your expenses plotted month after month creates accountability and reveals progress. Many people find that their spending naturally decreases and becomes more aligned with their values as they maintain this practice. This step also reveals the true cost of financial complexity. Multiple accounts, credit cards, subscriptions, and financial products show up as time spent managing money rather than enjoying life. Simplification becomes attractive not just financially, but practically. The monthly review creates a natural pause for reflection. Instead of money being something that just happens to you, it becomes a conscious tool for creating the life you want. Each month, you're actively choosing how to allocate your life energy. Many people discover seasonal patterns in their spending. Holiday seasons, summer vacations, or back-to-school periods might trigger spending sprees. Awareness of these patterns allows you to plan ahead and make more conscious choices. The step also reveals the hidden costs of stress spending, impulse purchases, and emotional consumption. When you see these expenses plotted month after month, patterns become obvious, and change becomes easier. Your action step: set up a simple tracking system. Even a basic spreadsheet works perfectly. At month end, total your expenses by category, convert to life energy hours, and rate each category for fulfillment. Plot the results and look for patterns and opportunities. This monthly ritual becomes a powerful tool for conscious living. You're not just managing money, you're actively designing a life that aligns with your deepest values and brings genuine fulfillment. Step 4. 3 questions that will transform your life. Step 4 introduces 3 simple questions that will revolutionize how you think about every purchase, every expense, and every allocation of your life energy. These questions seem deceptively simple, but they cut through marketing manipulation, social pressure, and unconscious spending patterns. Question 1. Did I receive fulfillment, satisfaction, and value in proportion to life energy spent? This question forces you to evaluate each expense category honestly. That expensive gym membership that you use twice a month? Low fulfillment relative to life energy spent? The modest amount you spend on library books that bring you hours of enjoyment and learning? High fulfillment relative to life energy spent? This isn't about being cheap. It's about being conscious. Some expensive purchases bring tremendous fulfillment and are absolutely worth the life energy. Others are expensive and bring little satisfaction. The question helps you distinguish between them. Question 2. Is this expenditure of life energy in alignment with my values and life purpose? This question goes deeper than immediate satisfaction to long-term alignment. You might enjoy expensive restaurant meals, fulfillment, but if your deeper values include financial independence and early retirement, frequent expensive dining might be misaligned with your life purpose. Conversely, spending money on education, experiences with loved ones, or tools that support your life purpose might be completely aligned, even if they don't bring immediate pleasure. This question also reveals social spending. Money spent to fit in, impress others, or meet external expectations rather than to support your authentic values and goals. Question 3. How might this expenditure change if I didn't have to work for money? This is perhaps the most powerful question because it reveals how much of your spending is driven by work, stress, time constraints, and the need to compensate for job dissatisfaction. If you didn't have to work, would you still buy expensive convenience foods? Or would you enjoy cooking? Would you still need expensive entertainment to decompress? Or would your life naturally be more balanced? Would you still need retail therapy to cope with work stress? This question reveals the hidden costs of earning money, not just taxes and work expenses, but the emotional and lifestyle costs that drive additional spending. Applying these 3 questions consistently creates what the authors call conscious consumption. You start spending money intentionally rather than automatically. Each purchase becomes a conscious choice about how to allocate your precious life energy. The questions also reveal the difference between spending that supports your life and spending that compensates for a life that isn't working. Much consumer spending is actually about filling voids created by work stress, social pressure, or misalignment with values. Over time, these questions naturally reduce your expenses without creating a sense of deprivation. You're not cutting back randomly. You're eliminating expenditures that don't serve you while maintaining or increasing spending that brings genuine fulfillment. The questions work for both small and large expenditures. That daily coffee habit gets evaluated alongside major purchases like cars or vacations. Both are measured against the same criteria: fulfillment, alignment with values, and necessity given your current work situation. Many people discover that their highest fulfillment expenditures are actually quite inexpensive. Time in nature, conversations with friends, reading, creative hobbies, or simple pleasures that don't require significant consumption. The questions also reveal how advertising and social pressure influence spending decisions. When you consistently ask whether purchases align with your values and life purpose, you become much less susceptible to marketing manipulation. This step often triggers significant lifestyle changes as people realize how much of their spending is driven by work, stress, social expectations, or unconscious habits, rather than conscious choices aligned with their values. Your action step: print out these 3 questions and review them weekly as you analyze your spending. Apply them to each expense category and notice patterns. Which expenses consistently score high on all 3 questions? Which consistently score low? Use the insights to gradually shift your spending toward categories that bring fulfillment, align with your values, and support the life you actually want, rather than compensating for the life you're stuck in due to financial obligations. Step 5. Making life energy visible. Step 5 creates a powerful visual representation of your financial progress that becomes a source of daily motivation and guidance. This isn't just tracking, It's creating a visual feedback system that keeps you aligned with your financial independence goals. Create a large wall chart that displays your monthly income and expenses over time. But here's the key. Express everything in hours of life energy, not just dollars. This reinforces the fundamental concept that money represents your life force converted into a medium of exchange. The chart has two lines: income, life energy coming in, and expenses, life energy going out. The gap between these lines represents your monthly savings, life energy you get to keep and rather than immediately trade away. As you plot these numbers month by month, patterns become dramatically clear. You can see when expenses spike, when income changes, and most importantly, when the gap between income and expenses widens or narrows. But the real power comes from projecting these trends into the future. If you maintain your current savings rate, when will you reach financial independence? When will your investment income equal your monthly expenses? The chart makes this tangible and real. Many people discover that small improvements in their savings rate dramatically accelerate their path to financial independence. Saving an additional 5 hours of life energy monthly might move your financial independence date up by years due to the power of compound growth. The visual nature of the chart makes progress emotionally satisfying. Each month that you increase the gap between income and expenses feels like a victory. Each month that expenses exceed income feels uncomfortable, motivating course corrections. The chart also reveals the true impact of major purchases. That new car doesn't just cost money. It shows up as a dramatic spike in expenses that might set back your financial independence by months or years. The visual impact often prevents impulse purchases more effectively than budgets or willpower. Over time, the chart becomes a source of hope and motivation. You can literally see yourself getting closer to financial independence month by month. The abstract concept of someday having enough money becomes concrete and measurable. The step also involves calculating your crossover point, the moment when your investment income equals your basic living expenses. This is true financial independence, the point where work becomes optional because your capital can sustain your lifestyle indefinitely. Seeing this crossover point as a specific date on your chart transforms it from a vague hope to a concrete goal. Instead of someday I'd like to retire, you have I'll reach financial independence in X years and Y months if I maintain my current trajectory. The chart reveals how different choices affect your timeline. Reducing expenses moves the date closer. Increasing income moves it closer. Major purchases push it further away. Every financial decision has a visible impact on your path to freedom. Many people find that watching their progress becomes addictive in a positive way. Instead of retail therapy or other expensive entertainment, they get satisfaction from seeing their financial independence date move closer. The visualization also helps during difficult months. When expenses spike due to car repairs or medical bills, you can see it as a temporary blip rather than a permanent setback. The long-term trend remains clear and motivating. This step often triggers competitive instincts in a healthy way. Couples might challenge themselves to beat their previous month's savings rate. Individuals might gamify their progress toward financial independence. Your action step: create your wall chart immediately. Use graph paper or create a simple spreadsheet that you print and post where you'll see it daily. Plot your last few months of data to establish the baseline. Then update it monthly. Calculate your crossover point based on your current expense levels and projected investment returns. Mark this date on your chart as your financial independence target. The daily visibility of your progress creates accountability and motivation that budgets alone cannot provide. You're not just managing money, you're actively steering toward freedom. Step 6. Valuing your life energy, minimizing spending. Step 6 is where the rubber meets the road. You've gained awareness, tracked your patterns, and visualized your progress. Now it's time to systematically reduce your expenses without reducing your quality of life, and often while improving it. This isn't traditional frugality based on deprivation. This is conscious spending based on your newfound awareness of life energy and what truly brings fulfillment. The goal is to spend less while living better. The key insight is that many expenses actually reduce your quality of life rather than improve it. Clutter costs money to buy, store, maintain, and eventually dispose of. Complex financial arrangements cost time and stress to manage. Status purchases often create anxiety about maintaining appearances. Start with the expenses that scored lowest on fulfillment in your monthly reviews. These are the easiest cuts because you're not losing anything valuable. You're eliminating things that don't serve you anyway. Transportation often offers huge opportunities. The average American spends more on transportation than food. Could you live closer to work, walk, or bike more? Use public transportation? Buy a reliable used car instead of financing a new one? Each change in transportation expenses has enormous long-term impact due to the high costs involved. Housing typically represents 25 to 50% of most people's expenses. Could you live in a smaller space, take in a roommate, move to a lower-cost area, house sit or caretake? Creative housing solutions can dramatically accelerate your path to financial independence. Food expenses often include significant waste and convenience premiums. Learning to cook, meal planning, and eating at home more frequently can cut food expenses in half, while often improving nutrition and enjoyment of meals. Clothing expenses can be virtually eliminated through strategic thrift shopping, clothing swaps, and buying quality pieces that last longer. The fashion industry thrives on convincing people they need constant updates to their wardrobes. Entertainment offers opportunities to shift from expensive, passive consumption to inexpensive, active engagement. Nature activities, library resources, community events, and social gatherings often provide more fulfillment than expensive commercial entertainment. But here's the crucial principle. Don't eliminate, substitute. Instead of expensive restaurant meals, learn to cook amazing food at home. Instead of expensive gym memberships, find physical activities you actually enjoy. Instead of shopping for entertainment, find creative or social activities that energize you. The step also involves what the authors call creative cheapness, finding ways to meet your needs and wants for less money, often while having more fun. This might include bartering services, joining buying clubs, learning repair skills, or finding free alternatives to expensive activities. Many people discover that reducing expenses actually improves their relationships. Cooking at home brings families together. Walking or biking creates time for conversation. Free community events introduce you to like-minded neighbors. The process also reveals how much consumption is driven by unconscious habits rather than conscious choices. The daily coffee shop visit might be more about routine and social interaction than about the coffee itself. Understanding the underlying need allows you to find cheaper ways to meet it. Quality often improves when you spend less because you become more selective and intentional. Instead of buying cheap items that break quickly, you research and buy quality items that last. Instead of eating expensive, mediocre food, you learn to cook delicious meals. The step emphasizes systems over discipline. Instead of relying on willpower to spend less, create systems that make spending less the natural choice. Automatic savings transfers, meal planning, and clothing rules remove decision fatigue from spending choices. One powerful technique is the wait-and-see approach to purchases. When you want something, write it down and wait 30 days. Often, the desire disappears. When it doesn't, you can purchase consciously rather than impulsively. Another technique is calculating the true cost of purchases by including maintenance, storage, insurance, and disposal costs. Many purchases seem reasonable until you factor in all the ongoing costs they create. Your action step: choose one expense category that scored low on fulfillment and brainstorm 10 ways to reduce those expenses while maintaining or improving satisfaction. Then, implement one strategy immediately. Focus on systems and substitutions rather than elimination and deprivation. The goal is to live better for less money, not to live worse for less money. Step 7. Valuing your life energy, maximizing income. Step 7 focuses on the other side of the equation, increasing your income while maintaining alignment with your values and life energy principles. This isn't about working more hours or taking any job that pays well. It's about maximizing the value you receive for your life energy investment. The first principle is to value your existing job differently. Since you now understand your real hourly wage and the true costs of working, you can make more informed decisions about overtime, advancement opportunities, and workplace negotiations. Consider asking for a raise based on the value you provide rather than your personal needs. Document your contributions, research market rates, and present your case professionally. Even small raises have enormous long-term impact due to compound growth over your career. Look for ways to reduce work-related expenses, which effectively increases your real hourly wage. Carpooling, bringing lunch, finding cheaper work attire, or negotiating flexible schedules that reduce commuting costs all put more money in your pocket without working additional hours. Consider the tax implications of income strategies. Sometimes working less can increase your after-tax, after-expense real income. If overtime pushes you into higher tax brackets while requiring expensive childcare or other services, you might actually lose money by working more. The step emphasizes developing multiple income streams rather than relying entirely on employment. This might include freelance work in your area of expertise, passive income from investments, or small business opportunities that align with your skills and interests. But here's the crucial filter. Any income opportunity should be evaluated through the lens of life energy and fulfillment. A high-paying job that requires 80-hour weeks and destroys your health isn't a good trade. A lower-paying job that provides flexibility, fulfillment, and work-life balance might be far superior when evaluated through life energy principles. Consider what the authors call right livelihood, work that aligns with your values, utilizes your talents, and contributes positively to the world. This isn't idealistic thinking, it's practical wisdom. People who enjoy their work tend to perform better, advance faster, and experience less stress-related expenses. The step also explores geographic arbitrage, earning income in high-wage areas while living in lower-cost areas. Remote work opportunities have made this increasingly viable for many professions. Skill development becomes crucial for income maximization. But focus on developing skills that increase your value in the marketplace while aligning with your interests. Learning should be strategic rather than random. Consider the difference between linear income, trading time for money, and leveraged income, creating systems that generate revenue without your constant presence. While most people start with linear income, gradually building leveraged income streams accelerates progress toward financial independence. The entrepreneurial path is explored, but with realistic expectations. Starting a business requires significant time and energy investment, and most businesses fail. However, businesses that succeed can dramatically accelerate financial independence while providing more control over your time and energy. Side hustles and gig economy opportunities are evaluated through the life energy lens. That rideshare driving job might pay well per hour initially, but when you factor in vehicle wear, gas, insurance increases, and taxes, the real hourly wage might be quite low. Investment income gradually becomes more important as your capital grows. Understanding how to make your money work as hard for you as you work for it becomes crucial for long-term wealth building. The step emphasizes that income maximization should never come at the expense of what truly matters in life. Health, relationships, and personal fulfillment are more valuable than money. The goal is finding the sweet spot where you earn enough to support your desired lifestyle while maintaining time and energy for what matters most. Tax optimization becomes important as income increases. Understanding deductions, retirement account contributions, and tax-efficient investment strategies can effectively increase your take-home income without earning more gross income. Your action step: evaluate your current income through the life energy lens. Calculate your real hourly wage, including all costs and time investments. Then brainstorm 3 specific strategies to increase your income while maintaining or improving your life energy ratio. Consider both short-term opportunities, raises, reduced work expenses, tax optimization, and long-term strategies, skill development, multiple income streams, investment income. Remember, the goal isn't maximum income, it's optimal income that supports your path to financial independence while allowing you to live according to your values. Step 8. Capital and the crossover point. Step 8 is where you transform from someone who works for money to someone whose money works for them. This is the mathematical heart of financial independence, the point where your investment income equals your living expenses, making work optional forever. The crossover point is when your monthly investment income equals your monthly expenses. At this point, you've achieved true financial independence. You can continue working if you choose, but you no longer work because you have to. Here's the basic math. If you need $3,000 monthly to live comfortably, and you can safely withdraw 4% annually from your investments, you need $900,000 invested to reach your crossover point. $900,000 times 4% equals $36,000 annually equals $36,000 annually. $3,000 monthly. The 4% rule is based on historical analysis of stock and bond returns. A portfolio consisting of stocks and bonds has historically been able to sustain 4% annual withdrawals indefinitely, adjusting for inflation, without running out of money. This calculation transforms financial independence from a vague dream to a specific target. Instead of, I need to be rich, you have, I need to accumulate $900,000 in investments. This specific target makes planning and tracking progress possible. The beauty of this approach is that you can reach the crossover point through either increasing your investments or decreasing your expenses. Reducing your monthly expenses from $4,000 to $3,000 has the same effect as accumulating an additional $300,000 in investments. The step emphasizes safe, conservative investing rather than speculative strategies. The goal isn't to get rich quickly. It's to build sustainable wealth that will support you indefinitely. This typically means diversified portfolios of stocks and bonds rather than individual stocks, options, or speculative investments. Many people are surprised by how achievable the crossover point becomes once they reduce their expenses through conscious spending. Someone spending $10,000 monthly needs $3 million invested. Someone spending $3,000 monthly needs only $900,000. The difference in required capital is enormous. The math also reveals the power of starting early. Due to compound growth, someone who saves consistently from age 25 can often reach financial independence by age 50 or earlier, even on modest incomes. Investment vehicles are kept simple: low-cost index funds, treasury bonds, and perhaps some real estate investment trusts, REITs. The focus is on reliable returns rather than trying to beat the market through clever stock picking or market timing. The step addresses common fears about market volatility and economic uncertainty. While markets do fluctuate, the 4% rule has worked through numerous market crashes, recessions, and periods of inflation. The key is maintaining a long-term perspective and not panicking during temporary downturns. Geographic arbitrage becomes particularly powerful at this stage. Your investment income goes much further in lower-cost areas, potentially allowing you to reach financial independence with less capital, or live more luxuriously on the same capital. The crossover point isn't necessarily the end of earning income. It's the beginning of true choice about work. Many people continue working part-time or start businesses they're passionate about once they've achieved financial security. The step also addresses the psychological aspects of accumulating significant wealth. Many people have subconscious blocks around money that can sabotage their progress as their net worth grows. Understanding and addressing these blocks becomes important. Estate planning becomes relevant as your wealth grows. Proper legal structures protect your wealth and ensure it transfers efficiently to your chosen beneficiaries. The calculation includes considering healthcare costs, which can be significant for early retirees who don't have employer-provided insurance. These costs need to be factored into your crossover point calculations. Your action step: calculate your specific crossover point based on your current monthly expenses. Then create a timeline showing when you'll reach this point based on your current savings rate and expected investment returns. Use online calculators or simple spreadsheet formulas to model different scenarios. What if you reduce expenses by 20%? What if you increase your savings rate by 10%? How do these changes affect your timeline to financial independence? This isn't about perfect precision. It's about understanding the relationships between expenses, savings, investments, and time to freedom. The crossover point gives you a clear target and timeline for achieving true financial independence. Step 9. Managing your finances. Step 9 addresses the practical aspects of managing your wealth once you've begun accumulating significant capital. This isn't just about investment strategies. It's about maintaining the conscious relationship with money that got you to this point. The first principle is simplicity. As your wealth grows, there will be pressure to complicate your financial life with numerous accounts, complex investment strategies, and sophisticated financial products. Resist this pressure. Simple portfolios are easier to manage, less expensive, and often perform better than complex ones. Maintain the tracking and awareness practices that helped you build wealth. Many people abandon their monitoring systems once they achieve financial security, only to see expenses creep up unconsciously. The habits that create wealth are the same habits that preserve it. The step emphasizes the importance of staying involved in your financial decisions rather than completely delegating to advisors. You don't need to become a financial expert, but you should understand your investment strategy and be able to explain why you've chosen your approach. Rebalancing becomes important as your portfolio grows. This means periodically selling investments that have performed well and buying more of those that have underperformed, maintaining your target allocation between stocks, bonds, and other assets. Tax management becomes increasingly important with larger portfolios. Understanding the difference between taxable and tax-advantaged accounts, managing capital gains, and optimizing withdrawals can significantly impact your wealth over time. The psychological aspects of wealth management are often overlooked, but crucial. Having significant wealth can create anxiety about losing it, guilt about having more than others, or pressure from family and friends who want financial help. The step addresses the importance of maintaining your values and life purpose as your financial situation changes. Wealth should serve your life goals, not become the goal itself. Many people find that having enough money allows them to focus on more meaningful pursuits. Estate planning becomes essential as your wealth grows. Wills, trusts, and beneficiary designations ensure your wealth transfers according to your wishes rather than state laws. This planning also minimizes taxes